Now, times are tough, so I guess the word is resilience.
Well, I think farmers, particularly dairy farmers, we've enjoyed some very high payouts in recent years, but now we're also experiencing some lower payouts. And the question is, can we farm with both those situations and continue to be sustainable and make a profit? So resilience is about being able to cope, meet your commitments and cope when payouts are really low. And a big part of that, I guess, is managing your level of debt. Comfortably, the farmers probably can handle about 50 or 60% debt in terms of security, and then but they obviously need a strong cash flow to be able to keep servicing that debt. And so we wouldn't really want farmers to be looking at any more than 25% of their gross income going to debt servicing in a particular year. But in some cases that's more, and for certain periods of time it might be more. But that's probably a comfortable level. What farmers are wanting to do is still maximise the growth of their equity and taking advantage of gains in capital land values, but also being able to afford to service that debt when payouts are low.
The banking industry's got some criteria, which I assume is basically what you've just been telling us.
Yes, well, the banks want two things. Two things. They want security in terms of their investment. So I think the maximum they might be prepared to lend on land would be something like 70%. So overall, between your cows and your herd and your plant, maybe a 50% debt would be fairly comfortable in terms of the bank. And then they want a times interest covered, normally about 1.1. They want the gross income to be greater than the amount of debt that you're paying.
A lot of people have been farming for capital gain so that they get their main profit at the end.
Yes, that's still a strong motivation for farming, is that our land appreciates considerably over a 20 or 30 year period, and that's where most of the wealth has come from for farmers. But there's also a focus now on getting sustainable profits just in terms of cash out of the business. So rather than leveraging, gearing ourselves to take advantage of leverage, farmers are now trying to make cash profits out of their business so that they can make a cash return that's positive.
Now, we're obviously in a low, but people are learning to farm with low returns, and they should keep that up once the money comes back in again.
Well, that's correct, but we also know that as soon as the payout increases, people tend to spend more, the expenses go up, their expectations go up, they can become more aggressive in terms of borrowing money again. But I think the average farmer will probably learn from this experience that we've had, and that it's a commodity, and although we enjoy some really high prices, we're going to have some lows. And we just have to figure out where we sit personally in terms of our risk aversion as to what we're going to be chasing now.
Communication. We always talk about the importance of communication.
I think so. At this point in time, I know that the banks are fairly busy talking to the farmers, talking to them about their situation. Farmers are looking for solutions and ways that they can do it. And the important thing is that everybody keeps talking so that people know what the expectations are, and they know where they're going, and they know what they can rely on.
There's always somebody in your corner to help, though, isn't there?
Yes, certainly. Lincoln University, we're always dealing with farmers and with the industry. We were out on farm just the other day having a look at some of the developments that are occurring. Lincoln tries to stay in touch with the farming community and what they're doing. We've got a few hundred students that go back into the industry every year, so there's a bit of an influence from that.
The neat thing is there's a lot of aspects of agriculture that you can get into without getting your gumboots wet and dirty.
Oh, certainly. The industry has lots to offer, plenty of opportunities. Agriculture is a high-tech, highly scientific business, and there's plenty of opportunities for all people, even if they don't want to actually farm. Yeah.
And you've got a lot of students who you're teaching about the financial side.
Yes, I teach farm management, and the purpose is to look at a whole farm system, particularly in our case about the financials and the economic viability. And that's very important skills that students need if they're going to work in the industry or on farm, is that our farming industry needs to be profitable and sustainable.